Hey there, welcome back. I am Sheila. We're aging joyfully. Thank you for being here. I finally read the Cruel Prince trilogy. It's been sitting on my shelf, but I had these high hopes for it. And I know people either really loved it or really didn't love it. So I was semi hesitant. Oh, I was very hesitant. Like it just took me a while to finally pull it off the shelf and dig in. So let's talk about my thoughts on The Cruel Prince by Miss Holly Black. Um, there's a lot of underlying themes, I think. So it makes this book a little deeper than just a fun read. It begins with these three human girls that, through a traumatic event, get sucked into the fairy world and have to survive. And they all three choose a different path. So obviously there's some, how do we handle traumatic events going on? There's everybody handles traumatic events differently. So there is that, and it was very interesting and intriguing to see, the depth of these books. But in this first book, there's several princes. I'm just going to say that there's more than one prince, and it took me a minute. I'm like, I'm kind of confused. Like there's more than one cruel prince in my mind that these people are dealing with, and I didn't know. Again, I didn't know everything about anything really about this book. It's just a yes or a no. So to me, I'm like, okay, which prince? Okay, what is the underlying trope? Okay, how is this going to play out? I don't, It took me a minute to decide, oh, do I like this? Do I not? What's the point? Is this an enemies to lovers? And if so, how on earth could that possibly be? But it was written so well as work your way through this whole series. And this is one of those books per chance series that I talked about earlier, that the title can maybe give away some of the plot of the story. I mean, as I was reading, I was like, I had expectations because of the title of the book. So there is a little of that. I can live with that, but still I'm like, this tells you something before you. I got all three at the same time too. So this tells you something before you even read this, or you even read this. This third one tells you something. So kind of expected a few things to happen. But it was written really, really well, and it definitely was a page turner. It definitely got you, and it got me involved in these characters' lives. I was very invested in what was going to happen and how they were going to handle everything and what the conclusion would be. Definitely got me invested, and I do like that. I think I am very character driven. Probably that would be my number one, is I'm character driven, but I can't just have characters. I have to have a plot, and then I do appreciate good writing. Some people are just these fluid, beautiful writers, and I do love that. I appreciate the writing as well. But I have to be invested in the characters, or it doesn't work for me, and I usually don't finish something. So loved these. I did love these. I'm going to give these a 4-star as well. They're great. They're great. I highly recommend them. But they're probably not my favorite of all time. Even though it's one of those like, will you read that again? Yeah, I probably will. Because even after the second book, when I found out a couple things, I went back. I was like, ooh, now that I know this, I want to go read that passage again. I want to go check that out again. So yes, these are something that, the other thing is I read really fast. I think a lot of you can relate. I read faster than I even listen on audiobook. So I tend to zip through because I want to know, I want the conclusion. I want to know the key points, what happens, how it works out. Does it work out? When does it work out? I need all the answers quickly. So I am a quick reader. And then when you get to the end and you get your lovely answers, that just warms your heart because now you know, whew, there's no more expectations. There's no more what ifs. You just know. Then I love going back and reading a little slower and maybe enjoying and maybe annotating. I don't want to annotate a ton, but I want to, there's a few sentences here and there that I'd like to remember and I'd like to be able to turn to and go, oh yeah, wasn't that sweet? Or oh yeah, wasn't that rough? Oh yeah, she was spot on right there. You know, annotate a little bit and just really enjoy the books one more time. So that is what I will be someday doing with this trilogy. Not right now, because I'm in the middle of so many and I have several finished, which I love too when you have a series that's completed. I'm trying to find completed series to really sink my teeth into, and I loved that this was completed. I do have The Stolen Heir right here, which I started reading, but then realized it's not finished. So I had to stop, take a pause, and I'll be back. So let me know your comments on The Cruel Prince. Tell me if it's a win. What's your ranking? How do you like it? Give me your input. I'd love to hear. Have a great day.